Hello YouTube, 87 Ricer here. Just ripping around on wife's rocket icebear. Oh, stay out of focus. Okay, so ripping on the icebear rocket. Going through town. Not really making any noise. It's loud. I mean, it's not loud. It's not like my last little scooter where I was riding around with a massive exhaust leak. Nothing like that. So Friday night, town was pretty active. Today's the 22nd of October 2022, and town was active last night, but tonight is really going to be active because usually the last week, what the fuck are they doing? You know, they're not supposed to go down that way. This is a one-way road. But I can tell they're from out of town. But anyways, usually the last weekend in October isn't totally busy. It's usually kind of, I mean, it's active, but it's not terribly active like tonight will be. The Hermann trolleys already got their stuff getting ready to go. People walking around, enjoying the town. So just a little bit ago, I was riding around with my mom. I had her on the back of the bike, and she enjoyed it, but she had fun, but she was also wanting to get off too. So I mean, this little bike, I'm 250 pounds. My mom was probably maybe a little over 100. So this bike's really like, it was going. It wasn't her fault. It was definitely not her fault. It was going. But yeah. So just ripping around. Just ripping around. So this place right here, Sally Mountain Shoe Repair. They do leather bags, shoe repair, and lots of other things leather-wise. And ooh, it's a nice little truck. Rat rod. You know what? I'm just gonna go straight up that hill. Straight, right up that hill. I'm gonna follow that little convertible up this. Now I'm purposely not going fast, so it's not gonna have a lot of speed going up it. It'll make it up it though. But so this is St. George Church, Catholic Church. This is the St. George School, the Catholic school, right here. Oh, if it's open, I could take you in there and show you the pictures on the wall. There's a picture of me in uniform on the wall. It was the one and only picture of me in uniform that I had with that class before the school finally said, you know what, we can't help him here. Go to the middle school. Yeah. A lot of beautiful houses on this very top hill up here. So I'm gonna take you all the way to the back. That's a long hill right there. I ain't going down it. I know I say I'm not gonna go down a lot of hills while I'm riding this bike, but to be honest with you, I go down a few of them anyways. So when you're coming up St. George Hill, there's this little road right here, and it takes you to a cemetery. Dead end. It's a dead end road. Not really much to see. But yeah, so all this stuff, all these little pine needles and shit, I don't really want to, I'd be afraid to use my brake on that. So this is the cemetery, of course. Guess how many people in this are dead? If you answered, it's all of them. All of them. I had that pulled on me. My dad said that one day, and I actually started to count. And then he said, all of them. I'm like, oh yeah, duh, it's a cemetery. Duh, 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 duh. Just a funny little joke. Not funny when you have to bury somebody, but this, it does Spirit Hill, and I think that house back there was a sign that said Spirit Hill. Now, it's a cool name for a guest house, considering there's spirits in the graveyard. There's an Indian statue overlooking the hill. Overlooking the town, I should say. I'd like to go inside that school and just kind of show you the class thing that I was on, but at the same time, if I walk up to the doors and they're locked, well, then it was pointless. But yeah, it was. I went to Catholic school for a half a year. My 7th grade year. It was the only time I went, because after that I didn't. I went to public school. I wasn't much of a Catholic school person. I didn't really care for wearing uniforms. I'm not a polo t-shirt wearing kind of person, and they required wearing polo t-shirts and blue, navy blue pants and shorts for summer, you know, and tucked in shirts, and I wasn't that kind of person. I didn't like tucked in shirts and polo t-shirts, and I didn't like looking that way. I always felt strange. I felt out of place wearing that shit, even though everybody else had to do it too. I felt out of place wearing that kind of stuff. It just wasn't me. Mulching some leaves. Good Lord. Bumpy ride. That up there is another church. Oh yeah, they gotta stop. I forgot about that. That's another church. That church there overlooks the Missouri River and the Hermann Bridge. As you're coming into town, that's going to be the first church that you see. So my V-Star is getting repainted. I've given my father a few different options of paint color. One of them I keep saying is going to be primer gray with lime green overspray, but another color is white with multiple colors, and I even gave him an example picture of how I would like the white to look with the multiple colors. And I said, if you paint the bike gray and you don't think that the lime green is going to work with it, then paint it one other color of your choosing, but just make sure that the primer gray is more that it stands out more than the color that you choose to add to it. See, I don't want just primer gray. I want one other color to go with it. I don't want multiple colors. I want one other color. And whichever color it is, it just has to be overspray or blotches, and it cannot overpower the gray. So it can be any other color from green, just as long as it doesn't overshadow the gray. I gave him my Honda Rebel a while back, and I had him do gray and purple. I expected the gray to pop out more than the purple, but it turned out that the purple overpowered the gray. And in the sunlight, the purple looked more of a pinkish color, and then as the sun goes down, the purple starts getting darker and it looked more purple. And I thought that was pretty cool. It just happened naturally, because I don't like clear coating it. I didn't want them to clear coat it, so it was unclear coated. So it was just naturally in the sun, it looked pinkish, and then as the sun went down, it started looking more purple. But it didn't turn out quite the way I wanted it. I wanted it to be more of a gray, but I mean, he did a killer job on it. He did a very good job on it. And then I sold it after. Hey, there's a big cock. Get it, big cock. And a metal one at that. So. The Hermann trolleys doing what they do best, picking up tourists that come to town that want to drink and have a good time, and they take you out to all the wineries. Oak Glen, Stonehill, Adam Puchka. There might be another one I'm forgetting, but I think that's about it. And Hermann Hof, which is actually, you can walk to Hermann Hof. Shit, you could really walk to all of them if you really, really wanted to, except for Adam Puchta and Oak Glen. Those are the only two you'd really have to want to ride, unless you want to walk off your intoxication if you're drinking, or if you just want a good exercise. But yeah, I said I'm just gonna rip around, rock it down these roads. I always end up making my videos here at the riverfront. I'm telling you, this town, it's not really big. I mean, it's okay. It's a good sized town, but there's a lot of side streets. I really haven't taken you all. I haven't taken all of you on all the side roads that we have here. I mean, this could end up being a 30-minute video if I really wanted it to be, just cruising through all these side roads. But I just like cruising the main roads. It's a habit of mine to just drive the main road and go where all the action is. And that is down First Street. I call it Main Street because back in the day, you know, it was one of the main roads that people cruised up and down on. So I mean, shit, I call it Main Street, but it's called First Street. So I'm going to be taking my kids to the pumpkin patch today, so I'm not going to be riding through the active mid-evening crowds. I'm just going to be riding tonight when it gets a little darker outside and I can hang out with my buddies. Then we can all rip around town and enjoy just cruising. But that's going to be later on tonight. And I don't really want to. I could make another night video, but I was being silly last night and I swerved on purpose. I was weaving back and forth on the bike, and I got pulled over for it because, you know, Octoberfest, weaving back and forth, suspicious. So of course I basically gave them a reason to pull me over, but I don't want to do that, so I'm just gonna go ahead and not film tonight. I mean, fuck it, I may just go ahead and do it, as long as I'm not being an asshole and being silly like I was and giving them a reason to pull me over. Then I might just go ahead and do that. I'll just make video tonight when I'm riding around. And I mean, like I said, it's the third weekend in October, so I think this is more of the Harley Davidson. It's more of the college weekend. So all the college people coming in on the bus loads and trains. Planes, trains, and automobiles. Oh yeah. I'm rocketing away. I'm sailing away. Some happy, some sad. Come sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me. Come rocket away, come rocket away, come rocket away with me. Didn't sound good at all. In my head, it sounded just like them. Or come fly away, come fly away, come fly away with me. Hermann Motel. I'm gonna take you up to Stony Hill, or Stone Hill. I don't know why I call it Stony Hill. There's actually a town called Stony Hill, and so I have a habit of calling Stone Hill Stony Hill. Stone Hill Winery. I'm gonna take you to that. Take you to it. This is the Hermann Park. I'm taking you through this too. Park's pretty active. Campers. Tents. People enjoying their weekend here. Oh yeah. That's a big ass RV. I don't think that's a van RV mix. It's big enough to have it on. It's big enough to have small living quarters in it. So I would say that was a van RV. So yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna be out riding midday. I'm gonna take my kids to the pumpkin patch, so I'll be busy. But later tonight, after the pumpkin patch, I'll be out riding on the scoot, and I'll be tearing up the streets. Rocket Man burning down the streets of Hermann, Missouri. Yeah, Rocket Man burning down the streets of Hermann Mo. Rocket Man. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. That's a nice house. They had to rebuild that one. The house that was there, it burnt down, and they rebuilt, put that one in place. I think you could see all the grapes. I think. Maybe that's just the vines. No, you can see the grapes. I'm going to do a close-up of the grapes after I get up to the top of the hill here. Then you can see the grapes up close. I got a good look at the grapes, and they're pretty fat and juicy. So, give you a little sneak at them. They look really good. Beep beep. I think that's what I was seeing. I'm almost positive it's what I was seeing. So before these grapevines were actually planted here on the hill, there actually used to be a bunch of people who would, yeah, check that out, some grapes. Grapes. Maybe these ones aren't ready for picking, but they are grapes. You can see them right there and there. And oh, there's bees all over these. Bees. But yeah, you can see them. Grapes. You can also see that bee. But yeah, before these grapevines were here, it was just hills. It was just a big old hill, and people actually used to come here, and they would drink alcohol and wine, and then they'd get so drunk that they would actually tumble down the hill. So yeah, they would, these vines weren't here, and they'd roll down the hill. They'd get so drunk, and then me and my buddies, we would wait for the really drunk people to leave their bottles in the grass, and we would snatch up the bottles that were left, that people didn't finish, forgot that they left them there, and that's what we used to drink. So what they didn't finish, we snatched it up, because there would be bottles over in that field too. That one over there. Yeah, that was all hill too, and there'd be bottles out there. We'd just wait until it closed, and then we would take it. But yeah. Yeah, that's what we would do. That's how we got the alcohol from Octoberfest. If we didn't convince somebody to buy for us. I'm gonna take you down another road, or down the other end of this road. So yeah, that's how we did it. Wait for them to get drunk and then steal their bottles, because they'd forget that they left them there. They'd walk off, and by the time they remembered, they'd come back for it, gone. How would you feel if you bought a bottle of wine finished one and forgot you had another one, and you come back for it and it's disappeared. You'd be a little pissed. But you know what? We didn't give a shit. That was free pickings. We had no remorse. But yeah, people they'd get so drunk they'd roll down them hills. And then I guess after a period of time, the winery decided, hey, we got all this open area. Let's just plant the vines in there. That'll prevent all them people from snatching up them bottles and people from rolling down the hills when they're pissed drunk. So I'm gonna take you up to Hermann Hill Wedding. Actually, it's not even Hermann Hill Wedding. It's just Hermann Hill Inn and Spa. So Hermann Hill Inn and Spa. That's where I'm gonna take you to. It's if you were watching this video, you'll know exactly where to go. So if you're in town, you know where Stony Hill is, or you know where Stone Hill is, Hermann Inn, Vineyard and Spa. Hermann Hill Vineyard Inn and Spa. Now there's a Hermann Hill Weddings, and I did the last video I did was at the Hermann Hill Weddings where I was overlooking the river. That was one of the last videos I did. This one you could just get a nice view of the town. There's a waterfall over here. Hey buddy. There's actually some fish in this pond. These are good dogs. They're good dogs. Well, okay, there was fish in the pond. Looks like all the fish was removed. I guess they remove them just before winter. No, I take that back. There they are. If you see that, they're in the deeper end. Yeah, see? So, they're in there. There's a big white one right there. Yeah, he's a big one. He's a big white one right underneath there. See it? Yep, you see the tail. So, yeah, these guys are. Hey, buddy. Yeah. Good. You're letting everybody know that there's somebody here. I'm not gonna hurt anything. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. See, you can kind of get a glimpse of this is just an idea of what it looks like. Down one of these roads here. And then off in the distance you got St. George at the tip of my finger. And then just past St. George at the tip of my finger, right up there at the tip of my finger, you can see that's the Hermann Hill Wedding area. Well, pretty light. It just went dark. But yeah, taking the beautiful scenery. Wow, somebody walking across the road down there. Ah, that's the school road that I'm looking directly at. That's the school road. It goes past the elementary school. And the blue building in front of that, there's a blue building right there where my finger is. That's the Hermann Ford dealership. Wow, this phone actually doesn't do bad. But yeah, that's the St. George Church. So, hi buddy. You guys be good. You guys be good. Letting them know that there's a person here. But yeah, that's the Hermann Hill Vineyard Inn and Spa. Hermann Hill Vineyard Inn and Spa. Right. Ooh. Yeah. See, very nice overlook. See a lot of beautiful overlook the town. There's a few signs here after you're getting ready to leave. It says, so long, adieu, so nice having you. Now, I didn't read it coming up. Hermann Hill. And of course, more grapevines. So, that'd be that. Now, if you go back up this way, there was a house that was built, or there was a house up here a while back, and it got burnt down. Now there's nothing left but the what do you call the basement, the foundation, I guess is what you want to call it, the basement foundation of it. But yeah, so it caught fire. It caught fire, and I'm sure they're going to rebuild it. It was a nice house. I mean, it has potential. I don't know what caused the fire, but it did. It had caught fire and it was burnt. Of course, I can tell that this is the garage. This used to be the garage. Inside, I know that was the front porch right there. Back area. And the thing is, I think it was like a double. I think it had an upstairs. I think it was upstairs. But like I said, it's been a while. Whoa. Hermann Hill Vineyard Inn and Spa. So, if you're wanting to come for a honeymoon getaway, you might want to check them out. They're pretty nice. Got a nice view of the town. I'm not gonna go too far the other way. I'm gonna sneak back through the Stonehill Winery parking lot because there's a nice little driveway that I can creep down and get back to level ground instead of being up on the hill. But a lot of nice houses up here. A lot of nice houses. So I'm gonna cut it here. I'm gonna start uploading this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Peace.